John chapter 9. A man which was blind from his birth. The disciples asked the Master, "Who did sin, this man in the premortal life, or his parents, that he was born blind?" "Neither, that the works of God may be manifest in him. He anointed the eyes, and he washed, and came seeing." "Is this not he that sat and begged?" the Jews asked. But he said, "I am he." Jesus anointed mine eyes, and I received sight. Therefore said some, "He keepeth not the Sabbath day." Others said, "How can a man do such miracles? A blind man, what sayest thou? He is a prophet." But the Jews did not believe until they called his parents. His parents answered, "He is born blind. He is of age. Ask him." His parents feared the Jews, for the Jews had agreed that if any man did confess that he was the Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. 32 I circled. Jesus heard, they cast him out, and when he found him, he said, "Dost thou believe on the Son of God?" He said, "I believe," and worshipped him. For judgment might come, that they might see. The Pharisees said, "Are we blind also?" Jesus said, "If ye were blind, ye would have no sin. But ye say ye see, therefore your sin remaineth. The sheep follow him, for they know his voice. The good shepherd giveth his life for his sheep. Other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. There shall be one fold. And I lay down my life that I might take it again. No man taketh it from me, and I have power to take it again, and come back to life again. I and my Father are one." Jesus answered, "Many good works have I, for which of these have you stoned me?" "For blasphemy, God." Jesus answered, "Is it not written that ye are gods? Thou blasphemest because I said, the Son of God?" Therefore he escaped out of their hand. A certain man was sick, named Lazarus. Mary and her sister Martha, that Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. This sickness is not to death, but for the glory of God. I circled verse 5. He abode 2 days before saying, "Let's go to Judea again." His disciples said, The Jews of late sought to stone thee there, and thou goest there again? Until Lazarus I go, that I may wake him out of sleep. He said to his disciples, "If he sleep, he shall do well." Then said Jesus plainly, "Lazarus is dead. He's in the grave 4 days already." Martha heard he was coming and met him, said, "If thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But even now I know that whatsoever thou wilt ask God, he will give it thee." Jesus said, "I am the resurrection. Believest thou this? Yea, thou art the Christ." The Jews and Mary went unto the grave, Mary saying, "If thou hadst been here, my brother had not died." It's like Martha, except Mary this time. Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews, and said, "Where have ye laid him?" Jesus wept. "Behold how he loved him," said the Jews. Jesus said, "Take ye away the stone. See the glory of God? Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. Lazarus, come forth." And he came forth, bound with grave clothes. Pharisees and chief priests said, "This man doeth many miracles." And they sought to put him to death. Jesus therefore walked no more openly. Supper Martha served, but Lazarus sat at the table with them. Then took a Mary of ointment and wiped his hair with her feet, wiped his feet with her hair. Saith Judas, "This ointment sold for 300 pence. Jews came for Jesus' sake, that they might see Lazarus. Chief priests consulted how they put Lazarus to death also. Greeks came to worship at the feast, and desired to see Jesus. Andrew and Philip told Jesus, and Jesus answered, "The hour is come that the Son of Man should be glorified." And he starts practicing his quotes. "Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat shall fall on the ground and die, and abideth alone. But if it die, it shall bring forth much fruit." "He that loveth his life shall lose it, but he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. And if any man serve me, him will my Father honor. What shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause I came unto this hour. Father, glorify their name." A voice came from heaven saying, "I have both glorified it, and I will glorify it again." People heard it. And Jesus answered and said, "This voice came not from me, but for your sakes." Chief rulers also believed on him, but they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they loved the praise of men more than God. I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. Then to judge. He's going to sit with the 12 on their thrones, judging the world.